Hey guys, Marstinkin here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so we have just got some hype news in the in-game news. It might not seem that hype at first, but like you will see why in a second. But so appearing in the news now, we have this new Dokkan event is coming soon. We got a GT Vegeta, the Saiyan who continues to pursue greater strength. And then, of course, we have the GT Goku as well. The Saiyan has unleashed his tremendous power. So, this is interesting because this is a GT-themed dual Dokkan Fest. And a dual Dokkan Fest coming to Global at this time seems kind of interesting. Well, if we flick over to the Twitter view over here, yeah, it's been announced in the news for JP as well. So basically, from what we saw from the V-Jump leaks, we know that the Golden Week celebration was supposed to be GT themed, and Golden Week is always a dual Dokkan Fest. So last year it was the Gotenks and the Buu, and normally the Golden Week units release on Global in November, and this is something that we talked about on the podcast a lot. We actually talked about it on the episode last night. The fact that the Golden Week units being delayed coming out to Global till November is just a really bad thing that makes no sense, because by the time the units come out, no one cares about them anymore. A lot of the time they've already been power crept. Like I mentioned on the podcast, like the Tech Exchange Buu, because of the worldwide celebration having come not that long before, if you pulled the physical LR Buu tanks, you didn't even really need to summon for the Tech Buu. Yes, he is a leader for artificial life forms, but like, yeah, if you wanted to run the Margin Power team, which is a very, very good team, especially after the link level update, you just didn't need to summon for him anymore because you got the physical Buu tanks. So this seems to be a big step that we are going to be celebrating Golden Week at the same time as JP. So this is really a big shift in the overall meta, because now this year we've had the Saiyan Day celebration take place on both versions at the same time with the new Broly, and obviously that did happen last year as well. And then we know we have the worldwide celebration, as it's now called, instead of the download celebration, happens on both versions at the same time. And now it seems that we are able to add Golden Week to that list as well. So this is actually super hype. Now, what this means for the future of Dokkan is still unclear. Like, I don't know whether this means, you know, is this another step towards matching up the versions, or is this just going to be another one of those celebrations that is on both versions at the same time, and then, you know, everything else for like the rest of the year kind of just is as normal? At this point, obviously, we don't know. We'll have to wait for more information. But yeah, this is pretty hype, because one thing that you kind of have to bear in mind still for Global is, unless they're going to push it out, especially with this, we don't have the same name update. So, of course, one thing that's really good for this is, I mean, if we have a look over here, let's go to the Vegeta page specifically. When we look at, like, the GT Vegetas, the only Super Saiyan GT Vegeta is this one here, from the World Tournament, who is not very good. And then he doesn't have any other forms. We've got the Super Saiyan 3 ones, and then, of course, there's the Super Saiyan 4. When we look at Goku, there's a couple of GT ones, but I mean, I think, is this the only summonable one? And then he awakens to Super Saiyan 2 anyway. So the good thing about this for Global is the same name update not being available isn't even really going to be a major issue, because there really aren't very good, like, GT versions of either the Goku or Vegeta in their Super Saiyan forms. Now, we don't know anything else yet in terms of the full details about what the units are going to be like. We haven't seen, like, animations leak or anything like that yet. But obviously it does appear to be a Super Saiyan GT Goku and a Super Saiyan GT Vegeta. The one thing that I would really like to see is them to have the mechanic have like a transformation to Golden Grey Ape and then transform to Super Saiyan 4. Now, this is something, again, we talked about on the podcast, because the Golden Week units from last year and the year before, because the year before that it was the Tech Trunks and AGL Zamasu. Gotenks and Boo also have this mechanic where they transform once, like on turn 3, and then they have an active skill to transform again. So obviously Trunks becomes a Super Saiyan, Zamasu becomes Merged Zamasu, and then they have the active skill to transform again. Same with Gotenks and Boo. Gotenks obviously goes Super Saiyan and then has the active skill to go to Super Saiyan 3. So what would be really interesting for these guys is if they're going to start off as Super Saiyan and then have a transformation where they either transform to the Golden Grey 8, which would be really interesting for them to do as like... Imagine if there was the Golden Grey 8 transformation was just them on the rotation like a normal unit and not the normal 8 transformation that we're used to seeing. Because maybe they'll do them as like a giant form unit. What would be interesting to see, because most giant form units, their transformation is either random or HP restricted. It'd be kind of interesting if on turn 3 they just automatically went into Great 8 mode and it was only for say one turn, and then yeah, after that they then transform into Super Saiyan 4. Because obviously we have no idea, like this promotional art doesn't show Super Saiyan 4 anywhere, it doesn't show like the Golden Azaru anywhere or anything like that. But I mean, I think that's probably what the hope is for most people, right? That these are going to end up becoming Super Saiyan 4s. So I think that would be very hype. There's a lot of different ways they could do this. I mean, like the transforming Goku, Vegeta and Frieza, they obviously cycle up through all of their phases, but like especially with Vegeta, as we've seen here, there's no real representation of like Super Saiyan 2 GT Vegeta, and then we have the Super Saiyan 3, and then it's just straight into Super Saiyan 4. Goku obviously does have all the different forms, but there's not as many as the transforming Goku and Vegeta have, so I definitely find that to be slightly less likely than something like the typical Golden Week we've seen before, where they have one standard transformation and then potentially an active skill into another transformation. But all in all, this is huge news for Global. The fact that Golden Week, at least this year, hopefully going forward forever, who knows, but is now a dual celebration on both versions at the same time. And there's something that's always really hype. I mean, obviously for me, it's exciting as a content creator, because as much as I do love Global, like being behind on everything is always slightly less exciting. So when we get Global firsts or same time celebrations, it's always a little bit more hype for everyone in general. Both versions of the game get to enjoy all this crazy new stuff at the same time. So let me know what you guys think down below. What do you think that the GT Goku and Vegeta are going to be like? Do you think they're going to be transforming units like the normal Golden Week ones we've seen, where they have a transformation and then an active skill? Or do you think they might be like the transforming Goku, Vegeta and Frieza, where they just cycle up through the stages? Or who knows, maybe they will just be completely different and they'll have a Grey 8 transformation that is an active skill and then they de-transform into Super Saiyan 4. Who knows? So let me know all your thoughts down below. Are you hyped? As someone who's not a huge fan of GT, I am hoping that Super Saiyan 4 is involved somehow, because that is one of the few things about GT that I do like, and obviously I'm looking forward to seeing their animations and all that kind of stuff. So very, very excited to see what this is going to be, and the fact that it is on both versions as well is very, very exciting. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.